Hello, and we're here on Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, Easter Monday. Kids have all gone home again after a visit over Easter, so it's time for me to get back in my garden. I've got a few jobs to do. If you come into the greenhouse, I'll show you what's been happening to some of the seeds that I showed you in the last episode. Now, I'd shown you all of these little seeds that I'd got going in the bags, and I've got a variety of tomatoes here.
That was over 3 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just about 3.5 weeks ago we did this. They've been indoors on my windowsill, and as you can see, they're getting a little bit big now, so I've decided to pop a little bit more compost in the top and actually pop them in here to keep them nice and warm. I just haven't really got much room indoors anymore. When we last talked, I showed you in here, and it's gone a bit mad.
Oh, blimey.
If you come in a little bit, look. So these are my various radishes. Can you see them there? Look. We could actually eat those ones, but I'll leave them in until we need them and then we'll pick them. Wow. But I've got quite a lot all growing in there. And then the little lettuces that I showed you, I was potting up into the little individual compartments. They've then come into here in the meantime. And you can see they're all growing like crazy as well. So we'll have a lovely selection of leaves. Gosh, lots of lovely red ones. I love these ones. And lots, too many. I don't know why I do so many radishes. We don't even like that many radishes, but never mind. We've got plenty of radishes. I think I might open that up actually and leave that open for a bit. And then if we look behind, you may or may not remember, I've got some broad beans going up there. Unfortunately, I had a tray of other broad beans. Hang on a minute, we've got some geese going over. Being particularly noisy, as they always are. I had a new tray of about 12 other broad bean seeds, and the idea was that that would take me up there. However, I must have overwatered them one way or another. A lot of them have rotted away. I've managed to save about 8, but still no sign of any life. So this might be the extent of my broad beans this year. However, if we keep picking them regularly, once they get up to about here, there'll be plenty of us. There's only 2 of us anyway. I have got some signs of parsnip. Can you remember the parsnip in the bag on the paper? I'd added some water, was hoping we might have some life. There's life. So I've got these little plantlets here. Look, can you see? They're starting to come up. These are also, see, these are the original. Not much sign of anything there, but this line is better. So these were the ones I just put the seeds in and hoped, and these are the ones that I put in the bag and got going. So I would definitely do that again. When I then want to, when they get a bit bigger, I can then divide them up a little bit, thin them out, they call it. And I might try and pop a few of the seedlings over there, but that doesn't always work very well. We've got some carrots in here, which are starting to come up as well. They've been a bit slow, but it has been quite cold. And even here, which is the latest row of carrots, I can now see a little bit of life. So it's doing well. Over here, my little cabbages are not doing brilliantly, but as I say, it has been cool. I've managed to put some onions in, which you can see here. I've put a line of onions there, all the way along. And I've started to get in more peas, because I like peas.
What are they there? Look,
these are peas that I'm actually growing for the top. So what will happen is when they get a bit bigger, we can start...
Oh, right, the climbing ones.
We can start, yeah, but we can start cutting the tops off and eat them in salads and things. Because I'm going to put here, probably early June, I'll start planting the borlotti beans.
Okay.
You can't put them until June, so they will then grow. At that point, I will then cut these off and just eat the plant. But these are all of the mange too and everything I was mentioning before. They're all coming on quite nicely. Lost the odd plant to undoubtedly slugs and things. Can you see there's the odd space? But yeah. I've got some spares, so I will be able to fill those up. But they're coming along lovely, as you can see. It's particularly those ones over there. Look at those. When we get a bit more heat, when we get a bit more heat, then they'll... I can't get my words out. Start again. When we get a bit more heat, hopefully soon, they will then really take off and be rampant and be growing up. They should be about this tall.
Hold on, I'm not looking at you. Yeah.
And then they should be about this tall in the end. But at the moment, as you can see, they're doing okay. So
and these ones here, the ones that you planted and we filmed here.
Yes, they've been on the go since February, though, you see, so they are a lot better. If you look down to your left, you can see all the lovely garlic. That's coming along lovely, look. These are all garlic plants. And another stem of my asparagus. They're a bit slow, one at a time, and none at all off this plant. Not quite sure what's happened there, but I don't know. I've kept watering it and we'll see. Gooseberry plant, you can see we've got a little, I can't see on this one, but can you see on here there's some little flowers. They will then grow to be the gooseberries.
Actually, can you pick me some chard? Because I'll be cooking it today and I'll be videoing it.
Okay. How much? Like a handful?
No, a good couple of handful.
All right. Picking off the bigger ones, really. We've already had quite a bit off these. These are still from last year, actually, so I'm quite impressed. I've got loads more plants in there, probably far too many that I've grown. So we'll have a glut of chard and spinach beet. Is that okay, Francesca? Is that enough?
That's lovely, thank you.
Yep.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay, I'll pop them on here for later. What I need to do today is plant out. I've got some more rainbow chard and white chard that I could do with planting outside, and I've actually got some more beetroot. I put some in the garden, but I could do with putting those out. Now you can see they're getting nice and big, but as I said, I've gone a bit mad with these, but never mind. And I'll try and put those in there, and I'll try and get a few more of my cabbages and things outside. So it's a busy day as always in the garden, but it's that time of the year. Elsewhere in the garden, this is actually my 2 little lanes of new potatoes. Now what's actually happened is the new potato foliage has come up under, you can see, look here. So you just cover them over again in case we have any frosts and things. Get rid of that stone. But what's also happened is, because I had my potatoes here last year, I think they're called, I can't think what they call them, there's a name for it, when you leave one potato behind from each plant, and it goes like this. So I've got all of these random plants starting to grow up here. I don't quite have the, actually, look, if you look directly below you, Frenchie, you'll see
Where?
they're here, and they're in amongst all of my raspberries too. But there's a part of me that feels, you don't dig up potatoes if it's free food, do you? So I tend to leave them, and then I will dig them up when they're quite young, and they'll be like small potatoes, and we will eat them. I never managed to get them all out though, so every year this happens, but I don't quite know how to stop that now.
A nice problem to have, isn't it?
Well, indeed, but they are kind of amongst my new potatoes as well, but I can't see this being too much of a problem. What I'm going to do next is actually get my lovely husband to help me to roll up this carpet and see what's going on under here. And then I've got some new, I've got my main crop potatoes to put in. You put them in just a little bit later because they tend to be ready in September time in the UK. The first earlies will be ready in June, and we have them as new potatoes. But the other ones are sort of September, October time, and we'll eat them in the winter as and when we need them. But I do need to move that. What I'm also going to do, this by the way, look, is a raspberry cane. It's sent to shoot a root down there.
Sorry, what am I looking at?
Here, look.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it out as a plant. No, I haven't been able to get it all out. I'll yank out as much as I can because they do come up everywhere. That's the only problem with them. But never mind, that will go in the compost heap.
Oh, you killed it?
Yeah, because look how many I've got.
Oh, I see.
Fold it like that, don't I? And then again, I wonder if we should take it on the garden and give it a shake. What do you think?
Yeah. Can I walk in here?
Straight back, yeah. Oof. Twisted my ankle. How did I manage that? Here we are. I told you I'd got these odd potatoes that are trying to grow, and we've finally got rid of the piece of carpet. And look what I found. I've been digging off the odd ones, which I popped over there. And then there's this. So it's one potato here, and it's sending all of its shoots out, desperate to find some light. Look, underneath this slab that was there. It's amazing. Let me come down.
What are you going to do with them?
I'm just going to put them in the bin, really, or in the compost heap.
Because I don't kill them.
Well, I'm not. It's not so much that, my love. I'm saving some, but they're in the wrong place, aren't they? There's actually a potato under there. Look.
Oh, under this we can eat that one.
Well, depends really how old it is. Let's have a look.
Oh, look, more than one.
Potatoes for tea. Look at that. Amazing, aren't they? Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's life.
We'll keep them. Oh, there's another one. Not sure if that's you.
Oh,
no,
wow.
He's good too. Gosh, it's amazing. I think I say proper gardeners. I'm not a proper gardener, obviously. But proper gardeners would say, yes, you definitely mustn't leave them in or encourage them. But as I say, I find it very sad to think that they can't. Look, this is what happens. You've got the tiniest of potato and it starts to grow.
See?
But anyway, another one there as well, look.
I think it's great. It's, nature. Not
You don't often get many potatoes off them, but they are worth having, aren't they?
Yeah.
There we are. I'll pop that back there.
Okay. Actually, if you pass them over, I'll put them in my...
Might be more over here, look. There's another
put
one.
them in with the Chard, Julie.
Yeah. There might be more, look. Let's have a see what we've got down here.
You're determined to get rid of all of them.
Well, just these ones because they're in the wrong place. I'm not growing potatoes at this end. So that's why. And there's some more there, look. Let's see what's happening under here. See, the reason why they're this colour is because they've been underneath the carpet and they've had no light.
And even though they've managed to make it through the winter...
Oh, this was a red, look.
You are going to get rid of them.
No, see, now that we can't eat because it's shooted,
Why?
so that's no good eating it.
Oh.
No, sorry, darling, we can't eat everything. Those ones are okay because they had shoots on.
I'm not enjoying this part of the video.
What? Well, it is what it is. Look, there's another little baby, look.
Oh, what are you going to do with that one?
Bin. Well, compost bin. There is no waste because everything will go on the compost heap. More here as well, look. They're everywhere. I'm obviously not very good, and you as well, actually, young man. When we dig
it's
up
my fault now.
when we dig the potatoes, we're obviously not very good, are we? Oh my gosh, there's all stuff under here as well. Look. Perhaps this year we need to be more thorough when we dig them out. Make sure we've got all of them.
There was a big one under there.
I don't know how we manage that, but
if you dig further there, where you are with your left hand, there would be a big one. Another one to go in my soup.
what, big potato here?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
It's a small one. I don't know about a big one, but yeah.
Well. So if you pass them over, I'll put them in... I was going to use some potatoes, so I'll use those fresh out of the ground.
Yep. Lovely. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Enjoy.
Lovely. Thank you.
Do you want your chard?
Yes, please.
Now under here, I have put in some beetroot and some onions, which are doing okay. They are coming on. Let me put him back in. But I need to put some more bits and bobs in, so I'm going to move that out of the way. And I think I'll bring some of my chard up here and put in. They, believe it or not, are 2 parsnips that were left over somehow from last year. So we do need to eat them at some point. Look how lovely they've come on. Actually, it's 3. I won't pick them. I'll show you that next time. I won't pick them. It's just such a shame. And then as you can see, my strawberries are coming on beautifully.
And it's that kale, the kale left over, isn't it?
They are going to seed, so I can try and get the seeds
them, yeah.
off and use them for next year's plants. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a video on those, didn't I?
My rhubarb is actually coming on. I thought the rhubarb wasn't doing very well at all, but there is actually now some growth. I do need to take that off, though. Oh, no. I thought it was a flower head, but it's not. It's actually a leaf. So I will leave that. I could start picking the odd one of those. And actually something else I'm quite pleased about is I have, in fact, got some flowers on my apple that I've tried to train.
Just a second, let me move back. And then you can carry on.
So I've tried to train it up and along so that you just have groups of apples. It's not a great big tree. I'm not sure whether I've done a very good job or not because I haven't got that much. However, there's, I think I got 2 apples on it last year, so hopefully we'll get more than that this year. Blueberries, look. These are the little flowers that will become the blueberries. I think I need to start thinking about covering that up soon so that the birds don't come and eat them. And yeah, everything's doing okay. And that's it. That's the end of my update for today. Ciao, ciao for now, and enjoy the rest of your Easter.